A recent national poll found that 1 out of 5 Americans thinks President Obama is a follower of the Muslim religion. OETA's Bob Sands reports in Oklahoma, the number of people who question the president's religion may be higher, but of those we talked with today, the issue isn't of much real concern.
Despite the fact that the president has made it clear many times that he is a practicing Christian, a new poll from the Pew Research Center finds that 20% of Americans still think he's a Muslim.
I am not sure. I do not know. I've from the beginning, I have no clue what he is. What he is. He says he's Christian, but I'm starting to wonder.
Random discussions with Oklahomans we talked with today found most don't really know what the president's religion is, and they didn't seem to really mind that much. This while polling data shows President Obama at a 17-year low of polling by the Tulsa World, with an approval rating in Oklahoma right now of 27%.
It's lower than when Governor Walters was going through his issues before the midnight court meetings and appearances, and then it's even lower than when Bill Clinton in his presidency at the height of the Monica Lewinsky scandal.
And this at a time when Governor Henry has a 63% approval rating, even though Brad Henry endorsed President Obama, and both are Democrats.
It's that whole idea of we like our guy, we're not so sure about those others, but it's also because of our view of Washington.
Shepardin says that his polling data does not indicate any racial bias in the president's approval ratings. Instead, he says it's all about perceptions. Perceptions formed in large part by the news media and easy access to information, even if that information is not accurate.
And not only does that give people an opportunity to find more information, they typically find more information that's agreeable with their opinion. So we begin to become more polarized.
How important is the president's religion and whether he is Christian or Muslim?
He does seem to be affiliated with people from Africa. I think his father was Nigerian or Ghanaian or something, but if he is Muslim, more power to him, I guess.
I believe that he has done quite a bit for our country.
Is he a Christian or a Muslim?
That I really do not care.
I wonder. I didn't think so until I heard his preacher at church. Matter of fact, I would have voted for him until I heard about his church. And I really can't say because I'm not that informed.
I don't know.
Does that make a difference?
No. I just want a good president, regardless of who he might be.
In fact, the strongest opinions we heard today were about the Islamic Center in Manhattan and concerns over ending the war in Afghanistan, not the president's religion. I'm Bob Sands, the Oklahoma News Report.
In tonight's Newsmaker interview, Razi Hashmi, Executive Director of the Oklahoma chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations, joins us. Thank you for joining us tonight, Razi.
Thank you for having me, Dick.
What do Oklahoma Muslims think of all the talk of President Obama's religion?
I think that's not really a discussion that we should be having. I think really the concerns, just like all Americans, is that what if he were? Does that really make a difference? Does that make a difference on how he governs policies and how he governs our country?
Apparently, a lot of people across the state and the nation believe that President Obama is a Muslim, and it's not viewed in a positive way. So what does that really say to you?
Yeah, I think this really speaks to the overwhelming phenomenon that has been sweeping the nation of Islamophobia, which is the fear and hatred and hostility towards Islam and Muslims. And I think, we've seen this with the opposition to mosques across the United States, from New York City to Madison, Wisconsin to Temecula, California. So I think that this is really an unfortunate thing that's taking place in our country.
Obviously, a lot of this is traced back to 9/11. What do you see or say to people who draw that connection?
I think that these sweeping generalizations are very unfair to make because just like any atrocity that occurs, any faith or culture or ethnicity is not blamed for the acts of a small few.
Are you seeing evidence of rising tensions between the Islamic community and non-Muslims in Oklahoma?
There's always been, we've always had cases reported to our office involving immigration, employment, and many other concerns that are taking place. But we don't see it as a growing trend in our state.
A November ballot measure would ban local courts from following Sharia law. First of all, what is that? And do you see that contributing to anti-Muslim feelings?
Sharia law is essentially Islamic law, and the ballot that is being proposed also bans international law. The U.S. Constitution has a supremacy clause which allows for international law to be exercised in the U.S. courts. This measure is really, again, speaks to the Islamophobia that is sweeping the nation, and really a political wedge that politicians are trying to gain more votes and more money by pitting Americans against Americans, really.
There have also been controversies in Oklahoma in the last few years involving Islamic religious attire and other accommodations. Is that still an issue?
This is definitely an issue both here in Oklahoma and elsewhere. When I believe this specific concern is probably regards to the anti-religious headwear law that was proposed last year. And we were able to have that dismissed by the committee, and we are really appreciative of that. So I don't think that this is really a concern that's imminent here in Oklahoma, but measures such as this ballot on Sharia and international law and other things that we've seen in this country are really should be of concern to not just Muslim Americans but all Americans, because we shouldn't really believe this trend of fear and paranoia that's existed in times before when President Kennedy was running for office and his religion was being questioned. We see these similar anti-American and racist sentiments taking place in our society that reemerge every now and then.
Razi Hashmi, thank you for sharing your views tonight.
Thank you, Dick, for having me.